It's a new year, and right now across the land, green fingers are twitching with anticipation. Gardeners want to get outside and get their green spaces spring ready. Hang on a minute. It's January. It's cold, it's wet, it's grey. What can we possibly be doing right now? Coming up in this video, things are starting to gather speed in the kitchen garden. I'm talking about new veg beds, a new fruit cage, and the big reveal of our wildlife pond. Happy New Year. Did you have a good break? Good Christmas? Get what you want? We're into 2023, like I said, and it is cold, it is wet, it is damp, and gardens right now might not be looking at their best. And that's okay. It's perfectly normal. From about late October to about now, I tend not to do very much in the kitchen garden. Yes, we're still harvesting. We've got plenty of vegetables to see us through to spring. But it's only been the last week I've started to get things moving. I've started to get busy. And 2023, I'm adding more. I'm adding more veg beds. I've taken a few veg beds and made them bigger. But something I'm really excited about is we're getting a fruit cage. Now, you might be asking, why does he need a fruit cage? Let me show you. So in this bed behind me is where we grow a lot of our fruit. We've got the raspberries, we've got a couple of stepover trees, apple, pear, green gage, we've got a fig, we've got a peach, and we've got a nectarine. And for 3 years, they've been giving us some wonderful harvests. Now, also in this bed, I've got a very large established yew tree. And when I designed the kitchen garden 4 years ago, I knew that this yew tree was going nowhere. I love yew, okay? Maybe it's the pagan in me, but this yew tree is here to stay. Now, someone else who loves the yew tree is the blackbird. So every spring, the yew tree is filled with blackbird nests. They lay their eggs, their chicks hatch, they fledge, and instead of them flying off to pastures new, they devour my raspberries. And over the seasons, they've become quite tame. So I could be pottering around the kitchen garden and have a blackbird just follow me around. No fear, just happily plodding along, singing to me, eating my raspberries. Now, things are going to change. We're getting the fruit cage. And as we're getting the fruit cage, the raspberries are going to be going from here to here. I'll be honest, I've never been entirely happy with this part of the kitchen garden. And over the years, I've grown different things here. We started with cut flowers, and they did well. Next, we moved on to the summer winter squash, and they did well. And for the last few years, I've had my gooseberry and rhubarb here, and they've all done pretty good. But like I said, 2023, I'm changing things up. So I've dug up the gooseberry. That's now growing in another part of the kitchen garden. And the rhubarb I've dug up, and it's now growing here in a nice new bed. So we've got a new space that measures 2 by 3 meters, which isn't huge, but it's enough for a fruit cage. And more importantly, my raspberries will be protected. So this summer, I get to eat my raspberries all by myself, and I share them with no one. But it's not just out in the kitchen garden where I've been busy. In the greenhouse, we've got a lot going on. We've got a lot growing. We've got various seedlings all coming through. You probably can't see them because they're all underneath all this fleece, but we've got mustard seeds, we've got rocket, we've got microgreens, we've got sweet pea, and various other bits and bobs. But right here, I don't know if you can see that, hollyhock seedlings. And they were all taken from our hollyhocks late last summer. And we've got like 3 or 4 different colours, white, black, pink, yellow, I think. And I can't take any credit for this. It was Soph. She's the one who sowed over 100 seeds. And thankfully, most of them have taken. Now, the reason we've grown so many hollyhocks is because I haven't just been busy in the kitchen garden. I've also been busy in the main garden on a project, a very special project. And here it is. It's our brand new wildlife pond. And I I'm absolutely thrilled by it. We started it late last year and I finished it just before Christmas. And yeah, it still looks a bit new, a bit shiny, a bit raw, but give it a few months and it will bed in. Now, what makes this extra special is when we moved in 4 years ago, this area of the garden was a dumping ground. We did a lot of DIY, a lot of home renovation. So there were old bathtubs, old cupboards, plasterboard. This part of the garden was a mess. And then finally, we cleared that out. And for a couple of years, this became like a wildlife haven. We sowed a lot of annuals, a lot of wildflower seeds, and it was wonderful. We got to see some wonderful critters, dragonflies. I think we had a few frogs. But again, last summer we had more renovation done, and so once again this was a dumping ground. It was a real mess. But finally we cleared it out and we saw an opportunity to create this. And do you know what? There's already things turning up. That's Daisy the cat. There are already things turning up. You know, we've got robins bathing. You know, I've seen little things crawl around. So it's kind of like watch this space, see what happens in spring. What you can't see though, over here, I'm going to be creating a flower bed, a raised area for a seat, somewhere we can watch the pond, and then I'm going to just fill it with beautiful plants. Including those hollyhocks we've got growing in the greenhouse. Well, that's me done for another month. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, or you just want to say hi, do get in touch. Thank you, Daisy. But for now, thank you for watching and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.